Welcome, everybody, into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett, and alongside me, back again for more action, like you will be every Thursday this baseball season. It's my guy, my buddy, Ian Cameron. Bobano, how are you doing over there?
Yeah, good to be with you, Jose. A Thursday tradition throughout the spring and the summer. This will be me being on the show here. Say Hey Plays, and am I seeing things, or is that record accurate? You're not fudging the books now, are you, Jose? 31 and
Yeah,
16.
no, everyone's pretty
Wow.
surprised at the record. I will admit, I have caused a stir with the record. That record is accurate. Shout out to me right now, 31 and 16, up 23 units on the young season. And for my guy Nasty Nate, who I know is watching, like always, you take out my plus 800 live bet on the Blue Jays. We still got 30 and 16, up 15 units on the year so far. So yeah, it's a pretty successful year. Pretty successful year, Boban. Now, how's baseball season going for you?
Can we trade records, please? It's been a struggle. It really has been for me the first week. Although the last, really Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were terrible. There's no question about that for me with baseball. Sunday was a good day. Monday was kind of break even. Tuesday was a slight loss. And yesterday was a really good day. Yesterday was my best day of the year in baseball. And it's gotten me to the point now where I'm within striking distance of break even on the season. It was that good. So it was a really big day yesterday. We had some nice spots there. We had the Giants. I can't believe Logan Webb continues to be disrespected. You know, all he does is go out there and continue to win, especially at home. I grabbed Oakland at a plus price against Tampa yesterday. They came through, and look at what they did again today. This Oakland team, everyone's saying one of the worst teams in baseball, putting up a nice effort here the last few games. We had the Blue Jays Yankees over the total yesterday. We had Arizona as a dog with Merrill Kelly at home, a guy that I like to look to bet on in certain spots. So yesterday was a very good day, but got to try to keep it going here into Thursday night. Let's see what we can find on and then hopefully keep the winning vibes going.
Yeah, you're right, and I hope I can keep it too. I've been a little tentative talking about my record because I don't want to ruin it, basically. But we're at the point where, over 40 plus bets in, we're feeling good about ourselves. And yeah, no, it's been a great season so far. I can't complain. I like it. And Bobano, I think today's the day. We're gonna keep turning it around here. We're gonna get to plus units, me and you together. It's gonna be a good time. I can't wait. Shout out to everyone that's watching, as always. Shout out to my guy Kenny Rogers One. Go watch his show, Kenny and Cab. A great name, by the way. Appreciate that. Whack Prescott, Real Deal Prime, Sammy Colbert, THC is Rizza. Nasty Nate called me the Fudge Master. Maybe that should just be a nickname of mine, I guess. The Fudge Master. Teflon Don, Ron Lofton. Appreciate you guys for watching. Let's get into the bets that we've had already or have already locked in that we will talk about in this show going forward. I did not count them out, and I should have 4, 5, 6 bets today. One already concluded. Shout out to the Seattle Mariners. I took them early, as soon as
So did I. Yeah, that was my one play today that with Logan Gilbert.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I mean, I thought it was plain disrespectful, like you said to Logan Webb. I thought you were gonna say Logan Gilbert when you first started. I got it at minus 107. It's basically as soon as it opened up last night, and I kept seeing it go up and up and up and up and up. And then at the end of betting with the bag today, I was at a minus 120. I kind of figured then that it was going to win. A little dicey there with the wind. Got a little scared, but we came through. So shout out to the Seamen for us there. I've got Pirates first 5 minus a half. I've got no run first inning in Philadelphia, Miami. No run first inning, Atlanta, San Diego. No run first inning, Detroit, Kansas City, and the Blue Jays money line, which I do kind of feel a little trepidatious about right now, but we'll talk about that further when we get there. I have an addiction, Bobano. You probably know it. I've talked to you about it. But we'll figure it out here soon and see how that goes. Bobano, any place for you right now?
Right now, I'm on the in terms of the games going on right now. I do have a play on the underdog, St. Louis, against Milwaukee. I just thought that there was some issues with Woodruff to start the year. I wasn't exactly enamored with the way he came out of the gate in the first start. And I talked about how I didn't like Wainwright as a big favorite when they played Pittsburgh their first series. Well, it's a different story when you're going to put him as a plus 140 underdog. in a spot like this. So I thought there was a little value on St. Louis. They're trailing 1-0, but it's early, only in the second inning there. So we'll see how that one goes. That's the only thing I got going. And of course, I had Seattle earlier today. So the rest of my plays are still ahead of us. So let's break down some games.
Awesome. Let's do that right now. Let's get right into it. Again, shout out to everyone watching. We appreciate you guys as always. First game on the card, the aforementioned Washington Nationals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yoan Adon, a great name, versus JT Brubaker. We've heard the same song and dance with JT Brubaker. Home road splits, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the Pirates' first 5, like I mentioned. Now, I'll get into it here. I do believe in Brubaker at home. That's obvious. 6 ERA on the road, career 4 at home. Not the best, but again, like I said earlier today, JT Brubaker just not the best pitcher. So you will expect a higher ERA from him. 3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 2 Ks at St. Louis. The 3 walks, 2 Ks is the number that would concern me. Hopefully he figures out his control this time. Early on in the season, but I will mention splits righty lefty, and I'll just give you guys OPS ranks to start off. There's only like 150-ish at bats for most of these teams, but Pirates right now are 19th in OPS with 125 at bats, 10th in average against righties. So I took the Pirates. Like I said, I think that the pitching matchup is favorable towards us with Brubaker versus Yoan. I understand, obviously, that the Nats lineup is probably better than the Pirates' worst offense in baseball. But I think that the Pirates I think this is the second game at home now for the Pirates. I think they can come together, get a win. Rather bet the Pirates now than later in the season. And JT Brubaker's splits are an obvious indication that he likes being at home. So first 5 minus a half at even money for me right now. Bobana, what about you here?
Yeah, I didn't bet the game. I stayed off it. It's two teams I don't really have a rush to bet on right now, but I do agree with Brubaker being more of a bet on at home. Now, he got roughed up by the St. Louis Cardinals in his first start last week. But I think obviously now you're playing a Washington team that, look, they haven't exactly been pummeling the baseball, have they, in their first several games? I mean, they got held to 3 runs against Atlanta, 4. They had one game where they had an outburst of 11. But, for the most part, they pretty much had a tough time at the plate early in the season. Brubaker does have better numbers at home. You look at it, too. Another thing to keep in mind going into this game is both of these bullpens have struggled. The good news, like Pittsburgh 6.2 bullpen ERA, it's really not much better for Washington, 5.64 bullpen ERA. So when you look at this particular matchup here with the Pirates and the Nats, I think you're doing yourself a favor here, or doing yourself a solid, Jose, looking first 5 innings. You just don't want to mess around necessarily with a bullpen with a 6 ERA so far on the young season, which the Pirates have. So focus on the first 5 innings. I need to see more from Yoan Adon, to be quite honest with you, before, I'm really ready to make a firm decision or get involved from a betting standpoint with him. What I do know about Brubaker, and it's funny, I took a shot with him as a dog and it didn't work out, but I understand why you're looking that way. Like I said, I didn't bet it, but I understand why you like Pirates first 5. We'll see if he can continue the good pitching at PNC Park, and he did have a pretty good ERA there last year.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe just a me thing, but I just much rather take the Pirates here first 5 at even money than, I don't know, lay like a minus 150 first 5 with a Dodgers team. That's just a made up number. I don't know what the Dodgers are minus 150 in my head, but then first 5, I'll get a free shot with a team that I've got a pitcher advantage, I think, with the splits and stuff, and even money, just a cheaper shot than taking it on the Dodgers. But that just might be a me thing here. So I'll take the even money there, and we'll keep on rolling with the first 5. So next game on the docket for us, Philadelphia Phillies, Miami Marlins. A very interesting matchup. A team in the Marlins that really had the Phillies number, or has it still, I guess you should say. They had a very successful record against them last year. I don't have it offhand, but I know it was very successful, and to the point where Phillies fans were really upset about playing the Marlins. And it probably, the Marlins alone are one of the reasons why the Phillies did not make the playoffs. So I think this will be a little bit of motivation for the Phillies here. Kyle Gibson versus Sandy Alcantara, or Alcantara, whatever you want to call it. I say Alcantara. I think that this is a prime no run in the first inning spot. My one concern here would be Kyle Gibson, who I forgot who it was. I think it was Moose Money who said that Kyle Gibson looked like Bob Gibson against the Oakland A's, and he did. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 10 Ks, no earned runs. I mean that says a lot for itself. I'm starting to I don't know if it's a thing as I realize or what we're gonna call it here, but I bet on you, Darvish, after his successful start, thinking, continue the success, blows up immediately. That would be my worry here for Gibson here. Gibson's not a plus starter, and I don't think that you Darvish is a plus starter. I say you Darvish is a little better than Kyle Gibson, honestly. So my worry would be him blowing up here. But I think that they can at least keep their shit together for the first inning here in the home opener at Miami, which, let's be honest, Miami is not going to have the best crowd there either. So it'll be a sleepy start, I hope. So no run in the first inning for me here. Bobana, what do you got?
Yeah, I almost bet Miami first 5 full game split here with Sandy. I like Sandy Alcantara. I don't trust Kyle Gibson, even after that great start that he had. And now he's, of course, going on the road. And, it's a small sample size, but he's had a tough time against the Marlins. He was good against Oakland. And I'm kind of reluctant to just because I was looking at Kyle Gibson as a bet against pitcher, and I actually took, I believe, Oakland team total over in Gibson's first start, and I was shocked how good he was. So I'm going to back off betting against him again here, but I do think there's an edge for Sandy over Gibson. Although I will say this, Sandy, if you look going back to, I think, post-All-Star break last year, he didn't necessarily pitch as well as he did in the first half of the year. The ERA went up, the hard contact rate went up, the walk rate went up. And you look at on the flip, the way he started the season this year against the Giants, he labored in that first game against San Francisco. He got off to a nice start, but they started to put some good swings together, the San Francisco Giants against Sandy. So I do like him long term. He didn't exactly pitch as well in the second half, and he didn't exactly, mow down San Francisco in his first start. Meanwhile, Gibson, who I targeted betting against early in the season, pitched great, pitched a lot better than I thought. So, I still think I'd trust Sandy more than Gibson. So that's why I'm leaning Miami. But we got a guy that didn't really pitch all that great in his first start, which surprised me, and a guy that didn't pitch well in his first start in Gibson, which surprised me. So it's just one of those games I'd rather see if these trends continue before I bet against them to go the other way.
And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Sandy's start at San Francisco was not inspiring, like you said. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 runs scored, 5 blocks.
That's the issue. He lost his command and he's lost his control, and that's not typical of him. So it worries me a little bit. Now, Barrios had that issue for Toronto in his debut, and he ironed that out for big time last night. He was a lot better. He ran into trouble the 1 inning, but the command and control was fixed. Maybe you give Sandy a chance to fix it tonight. Those are correctable issues usually.
Yeah, and I like a picture of Sandy's quality coming off a bounce back. There's certain pitchers like Kermit Garrett Cole, who we all know is an elite pitcher, but I think is a mental midget and is not, I don't know, doesn't have that fortitude to bounce back from a tough start. That's why I bet against him with the Blue Jays, and that's what I think Sandy will be more well equipped here at home. I think he's a rare Marlins starter to start multiple opening days. So shout out to him. I'm not going to make anything else official here. Right now, the no for the run in the first inning is a -125. So like I said, I like that. I got a -120 earlier. So I'm going to roll with that. Hope that they can keep it together. And like you said, if these pitchers do end up giving up runs, I hope it's in the second through whatever inning. And that's the thing that kind of keeps me off of the first 5 over, or first 5 under, I should say. Shout out to everyone again watching. I appreciate you guys. By the way, Kenny putting down some ponies in there. A little win play show, a little exacta. How about it? Go get that cash, my man Kenny. Maxwell Smart, apparently you're watching. I appreciate it. I don't want that to be a fake Maxwell Smart. So that is my guy, Maxwell Smart. I heard Alex Verdugo had a sexy time with a cow milking from Rocky Acre Farm. Well, thank you, Max. That sounds like a comment that you would say. I appreciate it. Alex Verdugo's my guy. And hopefully Maxwell Smart will be joining me on this show. I want to cap with Max. I want to talk some baseball with him. I want to talk Blue Jays with Max, actually. But I'm excited.
Max got
DJ,
heavily involved into baseball last year, so he's not
mm,
just a one-trick pony with the college hoops.
I would love to see that. I can't wait for that. DJ Woodworker, Benjamin Mills, Ron Lofton, G Martinez, all you guys appreciate it. G Martinez wants to mention, and a good point, the bullpen looked taxed for the Phillies. They haven't had a day off yet, so that's something to look out here. So, and the number has gone up on the Marlins too. Right now, on our friends at Bovada, you can get the Marlins full game at -118, Phillies at -102. So numbers are moving, so be careful of that. Next game, Blue Jays Yankees. I believe this is the series finale. Kevin Gausman versus Luis Severino. Hello. My name is Jose Bouquett, and I'm addicted to betting against the Yankees. I have done it every game except for one, as most of you guys know. I've taken the Blue Jays money line here again. I think, plain and simple, I just could not bet on the Yankees -150, -130, anywhere close to that number with Luis Severino on the bump. I said it on Betting with the Bag earlier today. I think that the career numbers, the numbers you see with the batters, with Severino and Gausman for that matter, are a little inflated and old because neither one of these pitchers have faced these hitters really in a long time. Severino hasn't started a game against the Blue Jays since 2019. Gausman hasn't started one since 2018. So I took the Blue Jays here, thinking of these are pitchers are. I honestly think the numbers here should be flipped. I think the Blue Jays should be a -130 favorite, and the Yankees should be around +110, +108. So I took the value with the Blue Jays here. I probably should have looked at the run line, or not the run line, the team total again to see if I could get a 3.5, but I definitely would figure that's too juicy with Luis Severino. So I took the Blue Jays here. I'm going to roll with them and see what happens here. Bobano, anything on this game?
Yeah, obviously, if the Jays win tonight, they win 3 of 4 in this series. So it's a big kind of a swing game. It's either going to be a 2-2 split or Toronto takes 3 of 4, depending on who wins this game. I'm on over the total in this game, actually. That's what I am. That's an official play for me is over 8.5, -110. I like it. I mean, you're going to give me 8.5 with these two teams. It's the same thing I thought of last night with the 8 that they gave us in the game with Cole and with Barrios last night. You know, we had a couple of unders to start the series, 3-0 for the Blue Jays in the first game, 4-0 for the Yankees in the second game. And then those totals were 9 and 9.5. They dropped it to 8 last night, and I figured that's too low, especially knowing Cole didn't exactly pitch great in his first start. We know Barrios didn't even get out of the first inning, in his first start. And I said, I think we're going to get over that total. And sure enough, they did. It ended up 6-4 last night. I think it's the same here. Gausman, and it's funny, they jettisoned Robbie Ray, and basically they replaced him with Gausman. And I have my doubts about both of these guys being able to pitch as well as they did last year. Robbie Ray got crushed last night by the White Sox. So the White Sox mash lefties. That's just what they do. But nevertheless, Ray struggled. And Gausman struggled in his first start against Texas. He labored. He didn't get through the fifth inning. The one inning, all of a sudden, they're hitting him left and right, one hit after another. And that was it for Gausman. Now he's got to pitch against this Yankee lineup at Yankee Stadium. I have my questions about whether he's going to be able to roll right through here. But I have just as many questions about Severino, if not more, being able to contain this Blue Jays lineup. I mean, he wasn't exactly terrific in his opening start against the Red Sox, kind of labored through it. When you look at what he did, 5 hits, 2 runs, only 3 innings and a bit. He didn't even make it out of the 4th inning, which means you're probably going to see a lot more of the Yankees' middle relief, and that's more where they're vulnerable. I mean, if there's one area of their bullpen you can maybe attack a little bit, it's middle relief. And look, the Jays lineup's good enough to even hit a good bullpen. We saw that last night. Chad Green didn't shut the door. Jonathan Loaizaga didn't shut the door last night against the Blue Jays because that's how good their lineup is. A tremendous performance by Vlad Jr., of course, with the 3 home runs. Unbelievable stuff. He's already got, I saw 14 or 15 total bases on the season. That's absolutely insane, and we're only a week into the season. So I think the Jays can score some runs. I think the Yankees can score some runs against Gausman. And the Blue Jays bullpen still has some issues, and they've used Romano now 2 games in this series. You wonder if he'll be available or be able to take on a full workload tonight, the closer for the Blue Jays in this one. So I think you get over 8.5. That's the angle for me in this one. I certainly lean with the Toronto side, but when you look at the spot, you look at the Yankees trying to avoid losing 3 of 4. My questions about Gausman it's what turned me from betting Toronto to the over, and that's what I ended up with.
I don't hate that at all. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't have the best feeling about this bet. I do think that the Yankees bullpen is kind of due for a little bit of a shellacking. They've been so excellent to start the year that it's just a little bit of time for them to start getting hit. Like you said, Johnny Lasagna last night wasn't great. Chad Green wasn't great. So we'll see how it goes, and I think that Chapman for right now will be a good closer. He did this last year too. Started off really hot, and then eventually fatigue, whatever you want to call it, people seeing him, starts to set in. So I do hope that my goal in this is that the Blue Jays get after them early. Severino doesn't go through 2 innings pitched, and they go to the bullpen super early, and they throw the slapsticks in there. Your Michael Kings, who's not a bad pitcher. Their Ron Mercugio, whatever his name is, he's also a pretty decent pitcher. So I took the Blue Jays here. I don't feel the best about it as of right now, but it's still a play. And luckily for me, I've been so hot this first couple of weeks that even when have a play I don't feel great about right now, it's been somewhat close, or at least staying in competitive for me. So this will be a fun game. And I do believe in the Blue Jays bats at the end of the day. And a quick shout out to Teoscar Hernandez, IL, right side discomfort. I don't remember, or didn't see if they officially said it was an oblique or a hip flexor or what it was, but he'll be on the IL and he will not be in the game. So that is everything for me on this game, and just a brief weather thing. 15-mile-per-hour winds. So do with that what you will. Next game we are going to cover here. Well, buddy, everyone knows that I love me some Shohei Ohtani, and boy, is it Shohei Ohtani day. It's the Angels versus the Texas Rangers. Ohtani versus Dunning. Honestly, if I was not doing the show every day, I think I would be considering going up and making the drive to go watch Ohtani pitch. It's one of those things I need to do before he leaves us for whatever reason. Ohtani, he had a good start. Realistically, I bet against him in his first outing against the Astros, but he still had a good start. 4.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Smashed his K proc. I believe it was 6.5. So smashed it there against Dane Dunning, who, sure. Dane Dunning, major league pitcher. I think he's a serviceable arm. Innings eaters, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 4 Ks at Toronto, which I guess if you're a pitcher of Dane Dunning quality going into Toronto, that's a good start for him. I think that's a pretty quality start. I kind of was feeling the no run in the first inning here, but I couldn't pull the trigger. Ultimately, I stayed off this game. I think minus 148 is just a little bit too expensive for Ohtani. And I'm now, well, I mean, everyone knew I bet on him all last year. MVP, every start I was on him in some form or fashion. Now it's just too tough. You got to pay the tax. Just like the Yankees, got to pay the tax to play the game. So I'm off this start here. Maybe I can be convinced for a no run in the first inning, but I'm off. Bobano?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to stay off. I lean Angels as well. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of bet on upside here with Dane Dunning, who, by the way, has a 7.71 ERA in his career against the Angels. Angels have seen him a lot. They're in the same division, and he has been mashed repeatedly by this Angels team. So, you know what I might look at more than anything is the team total, 4.5. But my one issue with that, even with Dane Dunning, of course, having a tough first start of the season, although his first start of the season was against Toronto. Anyone's going to struggle in that situation for the most part, that lineup. But at the same time, even though he's really struggled against the Angels, my one concern about backing the Angels, laying the price and taking the team total is this lineup's just very, very erratic and difficult to trust. I mean, they've had a couple breakout games where they scored 7 in one game against the Seattle, and they scored, I should say, 6 against Houston, 6 against Miami. And other than that, we're seeing them held to 1 run against the Astros, 1 run in another game against Houston, 2 runs against the Astros, 4 against Miami. They're not exactly an offense that I trust even hit mediocre to bad pitching at times. And it's surprising. And, when you look at the Angels on paper, this is a lineup that should be dangerous. When you talk about what they can do with Ohtani, with Trout, and with Anthony Rendon, I do have my concerns about Anthony Rendon moving forward. I mean, he's only batting 118 already this year. There's people that have used the W term, washed, when it comes to talking about Rendon. And boy, I've got my issues. This ain't that same guy we saw with the Washington Nationals. And he's been obviously plagued by injuries, and he's getting older now. I mean, there's definitely, on paper, this looks like a great lineup. But all of a sudden, if Rendon is not hitting well and is going to get injured again, you've got some concerns now, because he's one of the guys you count on for backup and security here with Trout, protection in the lineup. But that's something to monitor moving forward. That being said, I don't trust Dunning, like I said, or the Texas bullpen. Angels for me if I had to bet it, but it's priced high, and the lineup's just been so sketchy, so erratic, so inconsistent that even at a 4.5, I don't know if I'm really rushing to bet an over 4.5 with this Angels lineup right now. So I lean Angels team total over. I lean Angels money line, but am I going to bet either one? Probably not.
See, I like that, all of that, and I'm looking at the numbers versus Dane Dunning, and the thing that's keeping me off the no run in the first inning is simply the three guys that he'll face in that first three batters are all, boppers, and they all have seen him before. I understand 1 for 8 Ohtani, 2 Ks, but I think his bat has been quiet for a little bit too long, so I'd be conspicuous there. Trout 1 for 3, a K. I don't want that guy to see me that many times, so I wouldn't be surprised there. And Jared Walsh is 2 for 2, and Rendon's 2 for 5. So just I can't get there, unfortunately. I want to bet Ohtani starts, but I just too pricey for me, so have to stay off of it, unfortunately. But we will keep moving on to another bet I have here. Bobana, you know me. I love my no run in the first inning. I think this is kind of the most obvious one on the board. I had to bet this one early. I forgot when I tweeted it out, but I looked at it, I think, earlier in the show. Minus 145 now for the no run in the first inning in this one. I got it at minus 130. So I got it at a pretty juicy price. I mean, I don't really have to say much about this game, if we're going to be honest. Charlie Morton, animal. Every word of it, like, he's so good. I couldn't say enough nice things about him. And then No Joe Musgrove, No Joe, whatever we're calling him. I still don't like that nickname. Had a great start for himself. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned, 8 Ks, 0 walks. That's the more important stat there for me. And that was obviously at Arizona. Better lineup here. Home opener, I believe, for the Padres. So I'm taking the no run in the first inning. Hopefully that Charlie gets through the first inning. I mean, these are obviously two spectacular lineups, so I would have hesitation betting the full game. I mean, even the no run in the first inning is going to be a little dicey, but you guys know how I am. I love these bets. They're my favorite ones to do in baseball, and we ride it here again today. So we're rolling. Bobano, anything for you here?
Yeah, certainly that's a popular play, because I think Teese, I saw on Twitter,
Yes,
our good friend
yes,
Teese.
yes.
It was great seeing him in San Antonio as well. One of many people we saw down there, but I think he liked the no run in the first inning here as well. I can see why. I mean, these are two pretty good pitchers. We know Morton, even at it, Morton can still get it done for the most part. Obviously, in his last start, we saw him start off the game pretty strong. Ran into a little bit of trouble once it got into the 6th inning, but still, it was a pretty good performance, pretty good start overall for him in that game. He went 5.1 innings, 2 runs, just 2 hits allowed. Musgrove, is a guy that, especially at Petco, he pitches very well. And if you actually look, Morton's long-term track record here at Petco Park's also very good. Obviously, Musgrove, terrific numbers at home, 2.81 ERA, and Morton has a 2.08 ERA in 3 starts at Petco. So both of these guys love pitching in this ballpark. Atlanta's lineup hasn't exactly been game to game consistent this year, and we just saw San Diego's lineup absolutely get shut completely down in back-to-back losses to the San Francisco Giants by Alex Cobb, by the way, is bet on. I'm going to say this right now. I know he's on the card today. His velocity's gone up. He's throwing harder. He's adding another pitch into his repertoire. He looks like he's going to be able to, and he's going to be a good strikeout prop guy this year, I think, as well.
Just to interject there with you too, I agree wholeheartedly with you. I bet against him, and even when I was betting against him, I said that the Giants brought all those old guys in last year. The first year, they all got that bounce. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened with Alex Cobb, and that's seemingly what's happened too. I'm fading those old guys in season 2 of that bounce to see, there's obviously going to be a regression, But Cobb is in that first year bounce that he's getting from the Giants. Whatever they're doing there, whatever analytics, it's working for those old guys in year one.
It is. It absolutely is. They've worked wonders. They've worked magic with their starting pitching staff here these first couple of years, and with Kapler, of course, being a big part of that as the manager as well. So, and Cobb and Webb just shut down the Padres completely. So, I don't trust either offense to get going, especially early against these two arms. So, like I say, I haven't bet the game. I'd actually lean to a first 5 under in this game with the Braves and the Padres, but I understand why people are liking the no run in the first.
Yeah, I think that's a 3.5, correct? So the first 5?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's pretty low.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and I don't hate that either. You know, I bet those quite frequently last year. But you know, I just kind of feel like I don't know, maybe it's just easier to get in and out in the first inning, you know, but I just want less innings as possible. Shout out to everyone watching as well, by the way. Want to give a quick sidebar to everyone. A lot of good chatters out there, good looks. Shout out to the Woodwork, real deal. Farhan knows how to pick players. G. Martinez says, yeah, man, he knows. I don't know what it is, what they got in the water over there. He just sees it and sees greatness over there. Preston Ekdahl making a good point, by the way. Shout out to you, Preston. If you don't like the juice, you can hit it on Prize Pick. Use promo code PUBSports and use that deposit bonus for the no-run first inning there. Shout out to Prize Picks and shout out to Sharpie's show. 2:10 every day, I believe that's Central Time, 2:10, 3:10 Eastern Time. I'm not 100% sure, but you get the point. Go watch his shows for the prop breakdowns and all of that good stuff. Like I said, I'm on the no-run first inning minus 130 here. Let's keep it rolling. Bobano had nothing there, but he might have something on this game because this is a very interesting game for everyone. Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals. I would say I don't want to do the research on this, but probably one of the highest pitching age differences we've had in a while. Casey Mize, I don't know. I'm not going to call him a fireballer because he doesn't throw that hard, but you know he can spin it out there a little bit. Versus Zach Greinke, another game. I kind of was looking at the no-run first inning. I've got a lot of mixed feelings about Casey Mize, man. I don't know if he's the real deal or not. I don't know how I feel about Scooble either. I've watched them closely, and I feel like I haven't seen them have the success that would make me feel like these guys are bet on or pitchers that will be the leader of a staff going forward, you know. I hate to break it to everyone, but if the Detroit Tigers are going to rely on Eduardo Rodriguez to be the number one in that staff going forward, they're not going to go far. And that's just the plain facts of it. Eduardo is a good number 2, or I should say number 3 pitcher at least there. But right now they've got Mize, and they're hoping that he can deliver here. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a home run, 2 Ks, 0 walks. The lack of strikeouts is concerning. We'll see how that goes. He's also on a pitch limit too. Shout out to Sharpie for bringing that out on Jimmy the Bag, or betting with the bag, I should say. I think it's like 75 pitches for this whole month, him and Scooble, and then they'll be let loose. So not really the game that I want to deal with, especially with the Tigers bullpen that is atrocious, to say the least. And the Royals, a team that we all thought would be a great hitting squad, had started off slow as hell. Against righties, they're 28th in OPS right now, a 211 batting average and 147 at-bats. Again, small sample size, but, you know, I'm off this game. Like I said, I was leaning towards the no run in the first inning here. But I would rather just kind of sit back and watch Zach Greinke's brilliance on the mound and see if Casey Mize can figure it out here.
Yeah, I like Detroit actually here. First 5 and a full game, splitting it up between the two. First 5 for me when I took it, it was plus 108, and that's the first 5, and the full game plus 118. And I think you can get pretty close to those same numbers right now as well at most spots. Hasn't really moved a whole lot. Actually, plus 120 you can find full game at a couple of books. So I like them as a small dog here. Greinke was good in his first start, obviously. They'd certainly got a good outing from him. I didn't necessarily look at him, though, as someone I was looking to bet on this year. And Casey Mize, look, he had an okay start against the White Sox. Really, it got in trouble. He got in trouble in the 6th inning. He actually pitched pretty well up to that point, had kept the Tigers in the game, held the White Sox to 2 runs prior to that. And then, of course, 2-run home run. He gets lifted from the game in the 6th inning against Chicago. I still think he's got good stuff. And Look, 2 years ago he struggled. He was just very young at that point, but they worked with him last year, the first year with AJ Hinch as the manager, and you definitely saw a big time improvement from Casey Mize. He got that ERA in the mid threes, which was pretty good. I think he'll bounce back here. Look, you go from that White Sox lineup, which is obviously a terrific lineup, 1 through 9, to this Kansas City lineup. You rhymed off the numbers. They're barely hitting 200 as a team against right-handed pitching. I will say this, though, to be fair, Detroit's numbers against righties haven't been great either this year coming into this game. But I like the spot too. Detroit kind of got their butts kicked the last couple, especially yesterday against Boston. They made it close late, but they were down big for most of that game against the Red Sox yesterday, losing 2 or 3 in that series. I think now when you look at it too, they played the White Sox, they played the Red Sox in their first 2 series. Kansas City, they played Cleveland. And they played 1 game against St. Louis. Big deal. I think obviously Detroit had a really tough first week of the season. I think they actually have a nice little step down in class here facing this Royals team. So I like Mize. I favor him just a little bit over Greinke. Long-term upsides there for him, in my opinion. I like Detroit here. We'll split it up with the first 5 and the full game at a plus price.
I like that. I would much rather have Detroit here at the plus money here. I just think, at the end of the day, they're probably a better squad than this Royals team. A lot of Tigers fans in here too, by the way. Ouruberous.
I did say Detroit would be bet on coming into the year, and they've kind of not disappointed. I mean, they've lost the first 2 series, but look who they played, right? The White Sox and the Red Sox. These are going to be the spots to take Detroit against, mediocre to bad baseball teams. I think they're going to thrive in these type of games this year.
I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I think, if you just look at it rationally, White Sox and Red Sox are just better baseball teams than the Tigers at the end of the day. Teams like the Royals here, the Guardians, maybe even the Twins, at many points, you'll be able to pick on them there. And I think I like that. Shout out to Kenny Rogers. He says he likes the under as well. Slow start. Like I said, DJ and Woodworker helps to see them win some games. Ouruberous, like I was saying, he's on the no run in the first inning. He likes the pitcher's duel for first 5. And I think he's also a Tigers fan too. And I think so is DJ and Woodworker. Appreciate that. AOD, appreciate that. And Kenny Rogers always bringing the interesting facts for the chat. I appreciate that. Need that information. That makes me a better capper. So I appreciate that. Boston Nick, Benjamin Mills, all that good stuff. All right. Next game here. We got 2 more left on the card. Appreciate everyone for watching. Shout out to the 83 people watching. We've got games starting off here soon, and we will recap our action, hopefully before those games pop off. But this game is starting later tonight. Chicago Cubs, Colorado Rockies. Jimmy the Bag on the Rockies, I believe, first 5 full game here, fading Justin Steele in his first appearance in Coors Field. We figured that out last night, or I guess this morning, I should say. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, a walk, 5 Ks versus the Milwaukee Brewers for Steele, I believe. I wrote versus the Chicago Cubs, but I think it was the Brewers he faced. 15th in OPS for this Cubs team right now. Pretty decent, 208 average. Whatever I should say. That's against lefties too, because this is the only matchup against lefties, or only 2 lefties pitching today starting. Right now, Kyle Freeland on the other side, 3 2/3 inning pitch, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks against the Dodgers, who, that's, again, pretty reasonable stat line when you're facing a Dodgers lineup like that. And Kyle Freeland, I would say not a great pitcher, but a good pitcher. A pitcher you might be able to bet on this year. Minus 125, honestly, I don't like this price. And to be really honest with you, I think I would rather have the Cubs in this game. I think their offense, I would say their offense is better than what it's shown so far. 15th in OPS, middle of the road. But right now the Rockies are 6th in OPS. 75 at-bats, obviously, and the Cubs had only 48 at-bats against lefties. So we'll keep mentioning those small sample sizes. But I think the Rockies will take a step back here. They were playing a Rangers team that's not very good. So I would take the Cubs here, plus money. Nothing official for me. I can't fuck with the totals either. I've learned that I'm just really not good at those yet. So stay off game for me. Bobana, what you got here?
Yeah, I see what you look. Colorado, I don't like betting against them at home. And obviously you look at last year and what they did at home. What was this? Maybe the biggest home versus road split team in all of Major League Baseball last year, the Rockies. Unbelievable. Tremendous at home and just almost inept on the road. It was that big of a gap with what they did home versus road. Freeland was a bet-on pitcher for me in the second half. He really got it together. He pitched well. I'm going to pump the brakes tonight, though. I'm kind of leaning with where Jimmy went with Colorado, but you're right. The price isn't great. He didn't pitch well in that first start either, Freeland. He got 5 runs allowed. If he only worked into the 4th inning. Now, granted, that was the LA Dodgers. You have to factor that in, but still, it wasn't a great debut for Freeland. And let's remind ourselves as well, Jose, that Freeland was a very slow starter last year as well. He struggled in the first half of the year. It really wasn't until the All-Star break, beyond the All-Star break, that he really got his game back together again. So there's just some doubts that I have right now whether he's just going to step in and be great from the very beginning here. The Cubs have definitely hit the ball better than I thought. I don't trust Justin Steele, the lefty for the Cubs. He's really in the starting rotation because they've got some issues with Wade Miley and Adbert Alzolay, among others, that are banged up right now for the Cubs. And as a result, they got to put Steele in there. Steele actually pitched pretty well in this first start. We'll give him some credit against Milwaukee, although Milwaukee's been a funny, weird team to begin the year. They've had games where their offense has been completely and utterly dormant. So I don't know how much we want to, give Justin Steele just a huge boatload of credit for pitching well against the Brewers there. He did get through 5 innings with 4 hits and shut them out. And walks were an issue for him in spring training. He only had the 1 against the Brewers, which is definitely a good sign for him here. So I'm off this game. I don't want to lay a $135 here with Freeland coming off a shaky start, knowing that he's been obviously a guy that didn't get going until the second half last year. But at the same point in time, the Rockies have been just a machine at home. I don't want to bet against them here on this home field either, so it left me off the game.
I don't hate that. I'm looking over the numbers right now, and you're right about Freeland. Higher ERA in the first 2 months of his career. March, April, 4.3, May, a 5.29, and then June, a 4.58 before it drops in July and August to a 3.6 and a 3.5. So you can see it does take him a little bit to get going there, and those are career numbers, not just last year. So I don't hate that at all. I was actually, again, looking at these props, and something that just I think I needed to refresh my page to make sure it was accurate. I've got Jonathan Villar, 7 of 8, 3 RBIs and a home run against Kyle Freeland. So while we break down these other games here, I am going to be looking at props for my man Villar here. The total bases or whatever that may be. I can't even, they're not even giving it on Bovada right now. That's how hot he is apparently against this guy. But yeah, that would be my look. If we're going to talk player props real quick, I mean, that's 7 of 8, a home run right there. It says it all right there. All right. Last game on the card there for us, Bobano. A weird matchup, a team. I don't think you see these teams play out very often, but I don't exactly remember when. Major League Baseball is starting the schedule where every team plays everyone at least twice or whatever we're doing here. But a matchup that I'm not used to seeing, I guess. The Cincinnati Reds, Los Angeles Dodgers here. Luis Cessa versus Walker Buehler. And here's the thing, Bobana. I think that Luis Cessa is going to get some run here. I don't think this is going to be just a bullpen day. He was, I shouldn't say this without looking it up first, but I'm pretty sure he was a long relief guy for the Yankees. He was not just 1 inning. I think that, ultimately his goal is to be a starter. And I think that the Reds are going to start him here. He's had 2 relief appearances, has given up 1 hit in both of those appearances, 1 and a third or 1 and 2/3 and 1 innings pitched, both respectively. But I think he'll go here a little bit. Does that affect my capping of this game? Not really. I mean, it's obviously still Dodgers here. If you're going to bet anything, I don't want to bet a juicy like team total or anything like that. I'm gonna pull it up here. This this Dodgers team, this offense is just too good. It's too scary for me to even try to mess with. I'm looking at Reds team total 2.5 minus 150. No thanks. 3. No thanks on even money. Actually, no, it's at minus 110 with Walker Buehler on the round. That's just not appealing to me. And the cheapest, best number I guess you can get for the Dodgers is a 5.5 at plus 110. 5 at minus 120 and a 4.5 at minus 160. Just it's not doing it for me. I just don't believe in that. Maybe again, if you wanna feel alive, you wanna inject some grade A adrenaline into your vein, you take a no run in the first inning here and hope that Sessa can keep it together. It's minus 120. But ultimately, I'm gonna have to pass this game.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I was interested in was a Dodgers team total over. But once again, just like last year, you're going to see 5.5s in a lot of instances where they're playing a weaker team, weaker pitcher at home. You're not going to get a bargain with the Dodgers team total in this game. Now, from what I've read, Luis Sessa is going to be it's going to be an opener. Apparently, it's going to be an opener situation. Then Reiver Sanmartin is coming in after him and pitching, and he did not have a great debut there, and that's putting it mildly. Against the Atlanta Braves last week. It was a rough go for him in that start. He'd lasted just 2 1/3 inning against the Braves, 5 runs, 4 hits, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. I mean, the command was all over the place. And even when he did find the strike zone, they were squaring him up. They were getting the barrel of the bat on his pitches, and they were crushing him all over the field in that game against Atlanta. So let's see if they worked with Reiver Sanmartin since then and he's ready to pitch better than I don't know. But you're going to see mostly him because Sessa's going to pitch, I think maybe the first 4 or 5, maybe even 6 batters. It's kind of weird that they're using an opener against the Dodgers because Sessa's a righty. You'd think they'd want him against a bunch of righty bats, but they are very balanced. They've got a lot of lefty bats in their lineup as well, the Dodgers. So it's kind of weird they're going with this kind of opener type of deal here, the Reds in this game. But nevertheless, they are. And we'll see if it works for them. What I know is that we're going to see Sanmartin for, I think, the bulk of the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th inning.
I hope you're right.
And if we do, that's why I was targeting the Dodgers team total. Problem is it's 5.5. You don't get any bargains with Dodgers team totals on this. If I were to bet something in this game, that's certainly what it would be. And it is, I believe, their home opener as well.
Yeah, it is.
Stadium. Yeah. They've been on the road here, Colorado and Minnesota here in their first 2 series of the year. So I think that's a little extra something. Excitement for this Dodgers team. Again, with this Dodgers team expected to win so many games, there's going to be games like last year where you can fade them and they fall asleep. Like if they win a big series against San Francisco and they come home, a lot of times they're a good bet against in that first game. There's going to be good spots like that throughout the season with this Dodgers team to fade them at great prices. But I don't think tonight's the night. They're facing obviously some suspect pitching, Sessa, and then Sanmartin, who got belted after that. It's their home opener. You'd expect them to be pumped up and want to put a good showing out there tonight. So I didn't bet it, but I'm strong lean on the Dodgers team total. I really do like that. Problem is, 5.5. You're not getting it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make a vow to myself that I won't be betting any 5.5s this year. And I'm looking at
pretty
Luis.
pricey.
Yeah. No, no, if you think about it, it just seems a little insane. I'm looking at Sessa's stats, by the way. 64 innings pitched, 21 innings pitched, 81 innings pitched, 44 innings pitched. Just has not gone, is it a health thing? Keeps going up and down. I don't know. He's been in the majors since 2016. So we'll see. I mean, I hope you're right about Sanmartin. I thought they were going to use Sessa for like 2-3 innings and then give it to whatever. And I just think that using an opener, like you said, against the Dodgers is a weird move. But I don't hate that at all. I hope Sanmartin comes in there and does well. He's one of the Reds, I wouldn't call top prospects, but a guy they believe in. And the Reds are good at developing pitching. We saw Nick Lodero. I forgot his name already, but he looked pretty good. And then Hunter Green, who I can't stop talking about. I'll talk to a random man on the side of the street about Hunter Green, and I was like, "Hey, sir, have you heard of Hunter Green?" And he'll just look at me like I'm a weirdo, and I'll just keep moving on about my day and talk to the next old man I see about Hunter Green. So I like this Red squad, not the price for me, not the game for me. And ultimately, they stay off for me. So I'm glad that you agree with me. We'll see how Sanmartin, Sessa do, and of course, Walker Buehler is going to be must-watch TV. So if you're not betting on this game, just put this game on and watch Walker Buehler do his thing. All right, so I appreciate everyone, of course, for joining us. 77 live viewers right now. Hit the like button. We're going to take a quick commercial break here. On the other side of it, we will give we'll recap our best plays of the day, whatever plays we have left, and we'll send you guys out of here with some final thoughts. I know that people love hearing some Bobano final thoughts, a little waxing poetically by Bobano. So let's hear from these sponsors first, and then best bets. Thank you, as always, to Southtown 101 Manscaped for sponsoring the show. Come down to Southtown, get yourself a lovely beer, some wings. Bobano's had the wings, the beers. He can say firsthand.
Nice to hear someone else do the ad read for a change, by the way. Very nice.
I got you, Bobano. On this show, I don't want any of my guests to read ads. I've got them all. Don't you worry. And don't forget, as well, Manscaped Pub Sports is that promo code. Your balls will thank you. Get $24 off that all in one package. I've had it before. It's a lovely time. Trimmers are great. You get yourself all shaved up for the wifey, the misses, the misters, maybe. Who knows? We don't judge here. So shout out to them. Shout out to Manscaped. Appreciate them as always. All right. Let's take a breath here. And let's do some best bets. I love this card, I think. I've been kind of trepidatious on some cards. I think one or two this year have been ones that I haven't liked, but I think this one's pretty okay. And by the way, yes, Boston Nick, one of the best parts about coming to Southtown 101 is the karaoke by Bobano. So appreciate that. And I think that should be just a permanent fixture of this bar. I think there should just be a video.
Get the contract written up for a nice big amount, and I'm there every night.
Beautiful. I'll get that shipped up the flagpole then. All right. So, like we said earlier, best bets here. Seattle money line. I had that earlier today. Bobano was on that too, so that was a good win for both of us. Pirates first 5 -0.5 at plus 100, which should be going right now, I think. Let me double check here. Actually, they're about to start. They're warming up. So that's a good time. We're timing this show. Timing it perfectly. Pirates first 5 -0.5, even money, and a bunch of no runs in the first inning. So strap in for these. No run in the first inning. Phillies, Miami Marlins, -120. No run in the first inning. Atlanta Braves, San Diego Fathers, -130. That juices up to -145 now, I believe. Maybe you parlay these together. We don't say that term on this word on the show, but maybe you do that. You've got the no run in the first inning, -129 in Detroit, Kansas City Royals. So I guess I do have money on that game. I guess I forgot that I took that. But I don't remember if I said I did or didn't. But we're on it. And we've got the Toronto Blue Jays money line at plus 108. If I would have waited, you can get a better number right now, like plus 110. But will we bet? Will we bet? I'm not particularly concerned about the money moving against me. It's done that a couple times this year. And at first, obviously, I was a little worried, but I've heard Jimmy say it's, you could call it a bunch of people. You could be first on a public side, or you could be smart in having your bet early in there. So it goes back and forth. It's not a stone cold thing, but it does make me feel better when it does. So we'll see how that Blue Jays game goes. Bobano, what plays you got here for us today?
Yeah, to recap, I'm on. We'll start with Toronto, New York, over 8.5, -110 with the Blue Jays and the Yankees. And really, other than that, Detroit first 5 in full game. We got Detroit plus 108 first 5 innings, and Detroit plus 120 in the full game against Kansas City. So 3 plays there: the Jays, Yanks over, and the Detroit first 5 in full game.
I love it. I love it very much. It's going to be an interesting show tomorrow, by the way. Interesting show tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Good Friday for those people. So if you celebrate, I don't know what you say on Good Friday, but congratulations, maybe. I think I'm going to be doing the show solo, actually. It's going to be an interesting show. I might go solo. It'll be fun. A lot of people are busy on Good Friday, and I don't blame them. But I will be here capping the games. Jimmy and I will be on the show tomorrow morning, betting with the bag.
I'll be on tomorrow morning betting with the bag. So,
oh yes, you will be. I can't wait for that. And
breakdown.
Here's another question for you, Bobano. NBA pop-up tomorrow?
I'll have that as well. 4 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a playoff preview show. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So we talked about the play-in games for Friday on today's show. So make sure you check that out if you didn't see it. And then tomorrow we're going to do a full playoff preview. So every first round series prices, props you like in the series, that kind of thing. We're going to look at all of that. Each first round matchup, we'll be breaking it down tomorrow.
Yes, that's going to be a great time. NBA playoffs are when I start becoming an even bigger Celtics fan. So I can't wait. Let's just say my local bookie is very lucky that I did not see the Celtics open up as a dog against the Nets, the series price, because that would have just been all of my money. Just take it all. We're putting it all on the Celtics and see what happens. So I can't wait. It's going to be a fun day. I thanks everyone for watching. Real Deal Prime, appreciate you. Bring the holy water. Yes, we do need it on Good Friday. I would appreciate that. Oberus, I appreciate you for watching. Vlad, 4 home runs today. How about 1? I think he gets 1 today. 1 more for the boys. Boston Nick, Good Friday equals 5 p.m. We're going 5:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And don't forget, our weekend shows are big ones. Weekend shows, we get the whole card to ourselves Saturday mornings. I think I'm going to have Connor Mack on Sunday morning at least. We'll see if he's on Saturday morning. It's going to be a fun time. Don't forget that. That will be 10:30 Central Time, 11:30 Eastern in the morning. Thank you for asking, I guess, Nick. Ron Lofton, Kenny Rogers, Real Deal, all you guys. Thank you guys. Nasty Nate, AOD. Appreciate you. And by the way, of course, yes, Manscaped, your balls will thank you. DJ and Woodworker, all you guys, thank you guys so much. Eric Romero, I appreciate you guys. Justin Hauk, and yes, I am obsessed with Hunter Green. And I will record myself approaching an old man and asking him about Hunter Green if I get a certain amount of likes on this video. 100 likes. 100 likes on this video. I'll go approach an old man and I'll ask him about Hunter Green. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks, everyone. Bobana, I appreciate you. As always, it's going to be another week, unfortunately, maybe earlier.
Yeah, if you can't find an old man to talk about Hunter Green, you can always see if the next naked person that enters the bar is willing to talk to them about him. Yeah.
Yes, I could ask the naked lady that comes into Southtown. I could ask her about Hunter Green. If I see her tonight, I will. I'll be, ma'am, could you take a second? Could you stop twerking for a second, ma'am, while you're extremely naked? I just want to ask you about Hunter Green. I just want to know
on her own planet.
Hunter Green.
Yeah, she was on her own planet that night.
Well, I sometimes I wish I was on her planet. So shout out to her. I appreciate her for watching. I know she watched too. And that's a bet, by the way. 100 likes, Mando. I appreciate it. Put that 100 likes on there and I'll find myself an old Mexican man to go talk to. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And we will catch you guys here back again, 5:30 Eastern. Till then, see you guys.